Fireside chat. Let me light the fire. I love these propane torches. They are the bomb. Right now I'm just going around burning some grass around there, seeing how much of it will light up, but it's raining tonight, so I'm not expecting it to light up the field or anything. This thing's like cheating. Come on. We're gonna get a little bit of ways from it and watch the fire and maybe have a little chat. Tonight, we just have a light drizzle going on. Perfect night for a fire. I hope you'll hang around and join me. We're just going over to the concrete pad. It's right near where the fire is, so we can just watch from a safe distance. I'm just going around some trees. It's a rainy night here. We should be good. Here we are. Ah, beautiful. Well, welcome to my little fireside chat. Wow, that's looking good. I've been wanting to get that burned down for a while. So I just thought tonight maybe we could chat while I watch this pile burn. I thought some people might be curious about who we are, how did this farm come about, things like that. Feel free to ask questions down below and I'll do my best to answer everything I can. Whew, that's a good fire. I don't think you can get within 30 feet to roast a marshmallow. Back in my day, I graduated with a degree in architecture. I practiced for about 3 years after that. I moved from upstate New York out to Southern California to the land of movies. I kind of had a dream job land in my plate. I always watched tons of movies and was fascinated by them and wanted to get involved. My first job was working in a model shop. While I was working in architecture, I learned a skill that was kind of cutting edge, and it was 3D modeling. In the computer, I type these magic things and 3D shapes start to form. It's very helpful in architecture and also in product design. I got an opportunity to work in a miniature shop. It was right after the movie Titanic had been filmed. And they needed somebody that had computer CAD skills to run a machine called a laser cam. And so I learned how to cut products from CAD files on a flatbed with a laser. This at the time was $1.5 million machine. It could do awesome stuff. I wish I had one today, and maybe someday I'll buy one of those little desktop units you see so much online. They're just so handy if you know how to use them well, and I definitely have the CAD side of it down to do my own designs. My first movie was a movie called Supernova. Can't pick what movies you want to work on all the time. It was a fun sci-fi film, and we made a quote-unquote miniature, and it was, I think, 25 or 28 feet long. It was a huge spaceship. So I would take designs from the art directors and I would turn them into parts. I probably built 95% of the spaceship in CAD so that I could then cut laser parts to hand to miniature makers who would finish them, assemble them, and complete them to make the great big miniature spaceship. It was an amazing experience. I worked with guys that would sand Boba Fett helmets on their lunch break and had worked on Star Wars and Star Trek and all these great movies that I had known in my youth. So my background with all of that is I model everything. It's just what I do. I can get quick, fast numbers and know confidently that things will work or won't work and prove concepts to myself in the computer. And it's handy here around the farm a little bit. I can do designs for buildings or for mailboxes and know exactly the square footage of how many linear feet of wood I need, how much to cut off, and what angles will go together without spending a dollar. It's really quite handy. So after working on that film, I kind of started getting more and more films under my belt, but my first one that I got into the design department, the art department of a film, was a tiny little movie called Minority Report. And I had a blast. I mean, come on, a Steven Spielberg film. How cool is that? I was working with some of the best talent in Hollywood. It was so much fun. After that, I did other movies such as Spider-Man 2 and 3, Sam Raimi's with Tobey Maguire. I worked on X-Men 2 and 3. I worked on Superman Returns and The Dark Knight. I was frequently brought in for a lot of Marvel films and superhero films. I just had the time of my life helping to design all those films. I did have some that you might call a flop, or you might love them, like The Cat in the Hat and the remake of The Shaggy Dog, where I met Robert Downey Jr. And he is one Really cool dude. He was so personable and such a nice guy. This was before he became Iron Man. It was just really, really cool meeting him at that point in my life and in his. So I can take it. Why don't you tell me? Do you hate those movies? And that's totally cool if you do, but leave a comment below, let me know. But if you do, please tell me what movies you like, because I'm always looking for a new movie to watch. So after 15 plus years in California, I got a little tired of it and I had a new interest, which was developing products. And I developed 2 kitchen products and licensed them to companies. It's a really interesting model if you have any interest in it. I decided to move out and I chose to move to Kentucky. This state is absolutely beautiful and I love it. I met my wife here, and after 5 years of living here, I was lucky enough to buy a farm with her. And this is what we have right now, and that's what these videos are all about, us trying to restore the property, fix it up, and make it a better place for us. So one interesting thing was that while we were living here, we had a film come shoot on the property. And I made another video all about that. You can look up here at that link and find that video about other ways to make money on your farm. And specifically, I was talking about how to rent it out for a movie set. So the movie that was filmed here was called Red Right Hands, and it was starring Orlando Bloom. They filmed here for 3 days, and our farm is in the trailer and in the movie in several places. It was really a lot of fun having them here. It got my creative juices going again. I accidentally got back into Hollywood, and I did 2 movies in 2022. One of them was Rebel Moon by Netflix, Part 1. That came out this Christmas, and Part 2 comes out in April. And then I worked on another film in the area with Robert De Niro. It's fun to be back in it and to still live here on my farm. That's the best part about working back in Hollywood again. I'd say that's still a nice fire. That thing will be going for days. So a few other things about our family here. My wife is an artist, and we have 3 kids, a Brittany dog, a Bengal cat, and 73.5 acres here. Of those 73.5 acres, we have a tenant farmer that farms on 20 of the acres. He does your standard hay, soybeans, and corn rotations. It's been really fun watching him work the land, and it's nice having him around. You might have heard about him. It's Farmer Joe. He is a wealth of knowledge about tractors and this land. He's definitely a person I go to when I have questions. Now, we haven't grown anything ourselves on the property yet, other than a couple flowers in the flower bed by the house. But we're interested. Do you have any recommendations? What are some of the easy things? Obviously, we've heard chickens and goats, pigs. I don't think I'm ready for cattle yet. We'd love a horse, but I don't want the time spent. We'll slowly get there. Also, all of our children are age 6 and under. We'll get to the animals in a few years. Right now, 3 kids, that's enough to keep you busy. So besides a farm, Hollywood, my wife being an artist, what else do we do around here? I run a retail company, and I also have a visualization company that renders pretty pictures for people so they can see things that they'd like to make before they've made them. Well, hey, what have I left out of this? If you have any questions, feel free. Please, go ahead, ask. So something else I'll throw out there, this ought to be fun, 3 of my favorite YouTube channels. I gotta say, I love Brock with Rock Hill Farms. You probably already know about him, but I enjoy what he does. I admire his hard work and that he puts out a video every day. That's amazing. I wish I could fit that into my schedule. It's just not how we go. We put out a video about every 2 weeks. I gotta say, I've learned a lot from him. The biggest thing I'd say I've learned is not to be afraid to break a tool. I think that's a good thing. If you like him, what do you like about him? And another one that I really enjoy is Adam with Hometown Acres. He just does a lot of fun projects, and he's done a really good job fixing up his home. I don't know if I want to get quite into firewood at the level that he does, but it's something that I will do on the property, and I have thought about making a roadside stand in the future. If anything, just to sell trees that fall down. I gotta get rid of them anyway. Why not make $1 off of them? And let's try to go a little smaller. Something maybe you haven't heard before. Lately I've enjoyed a guy I've kind of made friends with. His name is Ben, and his channel is When Work is Play. He's got a beautiful property out west, and he runs his Kubota tractor and comes up with little clever things that he does to make chores easier. But I can't stop there. There's so many more, a couple more small ones. I could probably list 100 more small channels that I follow, but let's see a couple other that recently stick out. One that I found because I hate digging is a channel that has one of the Chinese mini excavators. And he's doing pretty cool stuff with it, and he makes entertaining videos. And his channel is Our Life in Trees. He makes a good video. It's fun. I don't know if he has fires like this one, but maybe he'll write in here and we'll find out. But he does have a little excavator. In another channel that I just found, he doesn't have a lot of views, doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but he makes a good video, and he's got the most beautiful view. I think it's in Utah or Colorado. He is building a house pad right now that overlooks this entire mountain range. It looks so peaceful. And his channel is Red Tail Woods Off-Grid. He's just getting going, but I think he's got some potential. All right, so I cheated. It wasn't 3 channels. I can't help it. They're all fantastic. How about you? What other small channels do you love that nobody else knows about? Or tell me one of the big ones. There are so many great channels out there. Anyway, I really appreciate you watching my channel, and I wanted to say thank you. So I hope you liked our fireside chat. Maybe we'll do it again sometime soon. And if you like this video, why don't you check out this one next? Because YouTube says you'll like it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you around soon. How long have you owned property for? I love the rain on this steel roof.